Are there any secrets that you're hiding from us?
Don't think so.
That's a lie.
This is my last video. The Try Guys have came out and made an official response. This is off the back of one of the 4 Try Guys, Ned Fulmer, cheated on his wife, and not just with anyone, with someone inside of the Try Guys company. So an absolute PR disaster for them. This entire thing must be one of the largest headaches the Try Guys has probably ever gone through, because imagine the deal they had to cut to get Ned out of the company. And then you have the employee who Ned cheated on his wife with, who to my knowledge is still working at the company, which is essentially a legal time bomb. Not to mention makes the coffee break room pretty awkward. So let's react to this response together.
Ned Fulmer is no longer working with the Try Guys. By now, we're assuming you've seen the Reddit threads and TikToks and tweets and news articles. We want to give you a timeline of what's transpired and some transparency into our decision making. Throughout this video, there will be things that we want to say or go into further, but as I'm sure you're aware, there are some legal issues we have to consider as we go through everything.
On Labor Day weekend, multiple fans alerted us that they had seen Ned and an employee engaging in public romantic behavior. We reached out to check on that employee. Ned confirmed the reports and since confirmed that this had been going on for some time, which was obviously very shocking to us. And we just want you to know that we had no idea this was going on. All of that information was just as shocking to us as all of this has been for you this week.
So they had like a 3-week heads up to handle this. Imagine all of the stress, because essentially this just shatters the entire brand. Ned is known as the wife guy. It would be weird for them to make videos together now because his entire shtick is essentially out the window. He's now simply the guy who cheated on his wife. But if this was like in any other industry, like in the sports industry or in the music industry, that would just be another day at the office. I don't see the Maroon 5 disbanding over the recent news.
And thus began a 3-week process of engaging with employment lawyers, corporate lawyers, HR, PR, and more, in order to make sure we were taking all necessary steps. From the jump, we were acutely aware of just how contrary this was to the values of the company we've built and those of everyone who works here. This is something we took very seriously. We refused to sweep things under the rug. That is not who we are, and it's not what we stand for.
I can't tell if those pauses were to be dramatic or for the teleprompter to catch up. That was a lengthy pause, but I might just be poisoned from the YouTube jump cut meta. In all seriousness though, I see why they're bummed out and upset, and they probably feel betrayed because this dude essentially threw away their entire brand for a quick dopamine hit. Dude even risked his entire family life for this. So I mean, if anyone has lost here, it's Ned. I think so far it's been a positive gain for the Try Guys because now they have way more eyes on their new content.
We immediately removed Ned from work activities and engaged an HR professional to conduct a thorough review of the facts. We also opted to remove Ned from our releases pending the results of that review. Over a few weeks, that's included removing his section from videos, digitally removing him from others, and choosing not to feature him in our merch throws. Honestly, I want to give major props to our editing staff for how deftly they've handled that. There are several videos that we've deemed as fully unreleasable. You will never see them, and that is due to his involvement. And that's a decision that has cost us lots of money. We will not be able to recoup that money, but it's a decision we stand by proudly.
I wonder what kind of deal they did to remove Ned. Like, was he bought out? Because my understanding is they own 25% each. Or, I guess even worst case scenario, do you think they just voted to have Ned get out of the videos, but Ned's still collecting 25% of what the company makes? That would be a pain. But I'm assuming he was bought out, but I wonder what that buyout's worth. What an overall garbage situation for the Try Guys. Like, this must be so infuriating to them. I do feel bad for everyone at the Try Guys except for Ned and Alex.
Now, we can't talk about the details of the review, but suffice to say, we found that Ned had engaged in conduct unbecoming of our team, and we knew that we could not move forward with him. So on Friday, September 16th, the 3 of us signed written consent of the members of Second Try LLC approving the removal of Ned as a manager and an employee. We chose not to rush into the announcement for a few reasons. Namely, there are real people who have been affected. And while we consider this a company matter, there's just also a family at the center of this.
Yeah, this is a tough situation to navigate. I feel like they should have announced it all before they started editing the videos though, because that's how these rumors get started and spread like wildfire. And this video is essentially a reaction to these rumors spreading like wildfire. But what's respectable here is they're not shying away or trying to hide stuff. They sat down and they're open and honest about the situation, which is why I think this is a net positive for them, because they really showed that they're stand-up guys here.
Now, we were always planning on a public statement. And we're working towards that with our team. But in light of rapidly accelerating speculation, we knew we couldn't wait any longer. We are obviously incredibly shocked and deeply hurt by all of this. This is someone who we'd built a brand and a company with for 8 years. We feel saddened, not just personally, but on behalf of our staff and our fans who believed in us.
I don't know that we'll ever be able to fully articulate the pain we feel at this moment. It's hard to rewatch old videos that we love and are proud of. We're losing a friend, we're losing someone we built a company with, we have countless memories with. We just made a TV show together. I'm sure many of you feel the same way. It's weird. We're sorry that this ever happened, and we don't know what more to say.
So what does Ned do now, you think? Like, has he made enough money from this to retire himself and his family? Am I gonna go to like a CVS one day and see Ned there? Who knows? Could he just start a successful YouTube spinoff called The Try Playboys, filming him and a bunch of other guys in their middle life crisis who've all cheated on their wives, just living their wild lives in Miami? Probably going on to that, what's that podcast called? Oh, the Fresh and Fit podcast. That would be awful. They'd probably go on the podcast and then they would probably be like, yeah, you guys did this because you guys are high value males. That's probably something they would say. But his midlife crisis vlogs would probably be enough to pay the bills. But I don't know about the whole thing of visiting your kids after doing something like that, especially if you double down with the midlife crisis vlogs. I realize this is an entire situation that I'm just creating here on this channel, so hopefully it doesn't come to fruition. Sadly, the internet is just coming to terms this guy is only human. The grass is always greener on the other side, and then when you jump to the other side and you lose what you originally had, you then realize how great what you actually had. As many jokes as I try to make about this situation, I do just feel very sad for his family. Obviously, it really sucks for the Try Guys as well, but I mean, the biggest blow is to the wife and kids.
And there's also our staff of 20 strong who they just don't deserve the negative attention our brand is now getting because they didn't do anything. But they're our family and they're some of the most talented, creative minds in the world, and our primary focus right now is making sure they feel comfortable and proud coming to work. The work they do never ceases to astound us, and frankly, there's just no world in which we could have navigated all of this without them.
But now that talented crew has more eyes on their new work. See, you gotta spin it to the positives. I mean, clearly they would avoid this if possible, but I think the Try Guys channel is going to be completely fine.
Now, there are videos that were shot ahead of all this, right? We're gonna be editing Ned out like the new season of Without a Recipe, and we're working with our editors and finding creative solutions to the footage. And we also have some branded videos that we've already committed to. So when you see a video that's sponsored in a few weeks and you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Well, yeah, it is kind of weird. It's just how things are, and that's why.
I mean, that's not going to be the weirdest thing. I don't even know how many compilations there currently exist on YouTube of just awkward moments now after the fact that we know that he cheated. Like you had this moment.
Do you think you have a better marriage than Keith?
No. That's a lie.
Yeah. Maybe Ned wasn't lying after all.
Look, I get that when stuff like this happens, there's going to be speculation and gossip. And we ask that you respect the privacy of the family members and employees who may be caught up in this. We also want to remind you that the internet has a tendency to be a lot harsher towards women than men. So please, we ask that you exercise kindness.
Ayo, f the cheaters. All my homies hate cheaters.
Things will change here. What we hope is that within this, there's also the opportunity for positive growth and better videos ahead. But it's going to be hard. This whole thing is going to be really hard.
And we imagine you have lots of questions, a lot more questions right now, and we're going to have more to say in the future. Just right now, we're focused on bringing the best content possible between now and the end of the year, and then figuring out what the future of this channel looks like from there.
That was a great response. Just keep the content coming because that's what the people want. It's going to be really awkward to have Alex around the office though. But that's a headache I would never want to be in charge of. So good luck with that one, guys. They should rename their channel to the Try Not to Get Sued Guys. Because to my knowledge, if they just got rid of her, there could be a wrongful termination lawsuit coming up there. So that's a very sticky situation because Ned is or was the owner, which makes the whole situation even stickier. Ned really screwed over his friends here and his wife and kids, literally. But if anything though, they now have the opportunity to hire a way funnier guy. I realize this video was very late on this topic. Funny enough, everyone working on this channel here has newborns. We are the baby gang. So all of you guys watching are now funding a whole bunch of babies. Hopefully more to come. So that's why we're late on some topics, but thankfully there's that saying, better late than never.